Rock Hudson interview, plus Matthew Perry on ET.
On guard against terror in 2000. Border security is tightened as the FBI tries to trace a mystery man with a carload of explosives. A state court's big step toward giving gay couples the same rights as married heterosexuals. A pre-holiday rush to get disaster aid to Venezuela's flood and mud survivors before it's too late. And a century of liberation. Women at the millennium on the countdown to 2000.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm John Roberts. The U.S. Customs Service is putting 300 extra agents on duty at points of entry to the United States and putting them on high alert for terror in 2000. An Algerian from Canada is in custody near Seattle, and the authorities say he may be connected to a terrorist ring. He was arrested last week at the border with the makings of a powerful bomb hidden in his car. CBS News correspondent Jim Stewart begins our coverage.
32-year-old Ahmad Rissam of Algeria wouldn't say in court why he was headed from Canada to the United States with a carload of explosives. In fact, say investigators, he's not saying anything at all and appears to have been coached on his legal rights under U.S. law. Meanwhile, federal agents still assume that Rissam was either with someone or en route to meet someone when he was stopped at this Washington ferry landing last week and have intensified their search for accomplices. Today, the U.S. Customs agents who first spotted him were given medals and explained how the young Algerian almost gave them the slip.
I felt something in the pockets, wasn't sure what it was, so I was holding his jacket. And while I was holding his jacket, he left. So I'm standing there holding the jacket. He's up the road.
Canadian police have recovered a van belonging to Rissam in Montreal, and U.S. authorities say it's still the Canadians who have developed the strongest links between Rissam and elusive terrorist leader Osama bin Laden's organization in Afghanistan. U.S. officials admit they don't know what Rissam's terrorist credentials are or what targets he may have had in mind.
While we do not yet know Mr. Rassim's exact intentions, we do know that he was carrying the primary ingredients for a very powerful bomb.
The reason the Seattle incident has caused such concern is because U.S. officials have always believed that terrorist organizations would try to hit easier targets overseas first before trying something stateside. Now they're forced to consider that the terrorists may have shifted their tactics. John?
Jim Stewart in Washington, thanks. The Seattle incident has also thrown a spotlight on Canada, where officials acknowledge as many as 50 terrorist groups are operating within close range of the United States. CBS's Vince Gonzalez is watching the situation on the border.
From coast to coast, all along the 4,000-mile U.S.-Canadian frontier, Customs and Border Patrol agents began tightening security today, stopping more cars and asking more questions. But at the busiest checkpoint on America's northern boundary, in Blaine, Washington, officials admit stopping anyone determined to make it to U.S. soil is a tough job.
With the limited number of people that we have up here, you know, and when you're looking at 7 days a week, 24 hours a day along the border, it is, you know, it's always difficult.
Difficult, or maybe near impossible. In many spots, the border isn't even marked. People can simply walk from one country to the other, especially at night, in remote areas where agents rarely patrol.
The problem is the undeniable presence of a huge border. There is only so much that Canada and the U.S. probably can do to assure security.
American officials appear to view the Canadian border with little concern. Fewer than 300 agents patrol the border, compared to more than 7,000 on the U.S.-Mexican line. But despite that, U.S. authorities blame lax Canadian immigration policies for giving terrorists a chance to get into this country. Security experts say the real problem is that gaping holes in border security are just too big to plug.
I think it's an impossible task. The border is simply too large. And what you want to do is create the appearance of security that will act as a deterrent to those who aren't truly confident about what they're about.
Last week's arrest of a suspected terrorist and fears of Y2K attacks have pushed both Canadian and American border agencies to be more vigilant and more cooperative. Officials in both countries say they hope the spotlight on the porous border won't fade after the new year. Vince Gonzalez, CBS News, Seattle.
When it comes to Y2K-connected plots of violence against the United States, the search is also on for homegrown hate groups. Case in point, the two alleged plotters in a California court today. John Blackstone reports how federal agents found them and hope to find others.
In a Sacramento courtroom today, Kevin Patterson and Charles Kiles pleaded not guilty to firearms charges. The case against them, built over a year of surveillance, gives an unusual look inside a band of militia members getting ready for Y2K. They discussed plans to blow up the California aqueduct that much of the state depends on for water. Other targets were given code names: the Twin Sisters, two huge propane tanks near Sacramento, the movie theater, a major television transmission tower. Retired FBI agent Rick Smith says in tracking these fringe groups, the challenge is separating those who just talk from those who actually are able to cause year-end terrorism.
You have to have the theory, you have to be somewhat mentally imbalanced, and then the wherewithal to carry through with one of these things. So those ingredients have to all come together on that particular date for it to be something to worry about.
And the FBI believes Kevin Patterson could have pulled it all together. In a Texas militia, he was known as a demolitions expert. A 60-page FBI affidavit filed in the case shows suspected militia members talking in code. Baking cookies is building explosives. Ammunition is called food. The affidavit also reveals some of the ways the FBI is trying hard to keep track of fringe groups as the year 2000 approaches. To watch Kevin Patterson, the FBI used wiretaps and listening devices. They brought in undercover agents. A paid informant was found inside the militia group. Agents put an electronic tracking unit on his car. Patterson was prepared for Y2K with a book called The Poor Man's James Bond, a handbook for terrorism. Court documents show he had a 4-month supply of food and plans to hide out in the woods. Now prosecutors say he'll spend New Year's Eve in jail. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a major court ruling for gay and lesbian rights. There may be more than 10,000 dead in the Venezuela floods. And the nightmare before Christmas, internet shopping, horror stories.
The look. Look who? JCPenney. Give the look.
If you wear dentures, imagine how nervous teaching teenagers could make you feel. What if your dentures slipped? But thanks to the all-day hold of Super Polygrip, those days are over. I think that says a lot about the power of Polygrip.
You know my friend Mr. Moretti. He worries about the arthritis pain in my hands. So he came with me to the doctor. Now I am on a wonderful treatment.
Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. It works as well as the leading arthritis prescription, but is much gentler to your stomach.
Mr. Moretti says I have beautiful hands.
Tylenol Arthritis. Take comfort in our strength.
You know what I like about working at Office Depot during the holidays? Customers like Greg McCormick. He's so nice. His company makes peppermint candy canes, and he loves giving them out to just about everyone while he does his holiday shopping. He also loves saving money on everything he buys. Lucky for us, though, the holidays come only once a year. That's nice. All that candy gets to be pretty tempting.
Shop Office Depot, online or in our store.
Thanks for shopping Office Depot.
Here, have a candy cane.
Bye.
Bye.
In Vermont, the state Supreme Court broke new ground today on the front lines for gay and lesbian rights. As CBS's Richard Schlesinger reports, the court did not declare gay and lesbian marriages legal, but came the closest to it of anywhere in the nation.
In their minds, thousands of gay couples feel like they're married. But while they may feel obligated to each other, no state authority has ever felt obligated to recognize same-sex unions. Today, the Vermont Supreme Court decided same-sex couples deserve legal protection.
And I look forward to Peter and myself having that same kind of relationship that my parents did.
The court stopped short of legalizing gay marriage. Justices ordered the legislature to find a way to make sure committed same-sex couples have the same rights to health benefits and legal protections as married heterosexuals.
It's a substantive, important legal victory that says that gay people and our families are entitled to full and equal protection under the law.
The Conservative Family Research Council said the court is playing with fire.
They did something very wrong, which was to impose marital-type benefits on non-marital relationships. That undermines the authority of marriage. It undermines its importance in society.
Even though the court did not legalize same-sex marriage, it went farther than any other state. And some gay activists in Vermont sound like they're already planning the weddings.
We bring to marriage, all of us, passion, commitment, equality, and love. And that's something that will only strengthen marriage.
Vermont legislators are now expected to pass so-called domestic partner measures. Gay people could get all the legal benefits of marriage, except the official recognition and the symbolism that comes from saying, I do. John.
Richard. In Cleveland, Ohio, a federal judge today threw out the state's taxpayer-financed school voucher program. The judge said using public money to send children to schools with religious affiliations violates the separation of church and state. Students can, however, stay in their current schools while the ruling is appealed. Next up on the CBS Evening News, after the floods in Venezuela, a rising tide of death and disease.
Can you believe it? My husband, Nolan Ryan, has arthritis. So his doctor says, stay active and take Advil to make it easier. I take it for my arthritis pain, so we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain. Oh, I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast. Introducing Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. New Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
I'm the Black & Decker floor buster. I eat broken glass for breakfast. I eat cat litter for lunch. Let's just say I have an insatiable appetite. I'm the floor buster. I'm built by Black & Decker.
C'est chaleureux. Même le look. C'est chaleureux. Même le video. C'est chaleureux. Look who? JC Penney.
Don't miss the semi-annual lingerie sale. The look. Look who? JC Penney. Give the look.
Super Bowl Sunday. In a special multimedia event, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol will surprise someone with $21 million.
Oh my God! I can't believe it! Oh, thank you so much!
It'll all happen live on TV and at PCH.com.
Yes!
Watch your mail or go to PCH.com. Enter, and on Super Bowl Sunday, the $21 million winner could be you.
If foods like onions and peppers give you gas, then do what I do. Take Beano before eating. It has a natural food enzyme that helps prevent gas caused by many vegetables, including beans. And for me, that's great news. Prevent gas with Beano.
The spread of disease and starvation is a growing threat in Venezuela tonight. This in the wake of a massive flood and mudslide disaster triggered by torrential rains. Entire villages were washed away or buried under tons of mud. Some estimates put the death toll at more than 10,000. 6 days after the torrential rains that triggered deadly mudslides and flooding, water still races through the neighborhoods of Venezuela's coastal towns. 1,500 bodies have been recovered so far, but Venezuelan officials fear they have only begun to count the dead. And the disaster threatens to get worse. If there is any more rain, said Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez, many more communities could be entirely washed away. Venezuela is coping with a catastrophe it could never prepare for. Search and rescue operations are still the top priority. But growing quickly is the need to provide for as many as 200,000 people left homeless by the floods. The U.S. has promised $3 million in initial aid. It is pitching in with aircraft, troops, and relief supplies.
The U.S. military is actively supporting the Venezuelan military in evacuating injured and displaced persons from the disaster area. Additionally, the United States Southern Command has dispatched a variety of technical experts to the disaster area.
The Venezuelan government issued an urgent worldwide appeal for everything from medicine to tents to money to help ease the crisis. Venezuela was already in a deep economic recession before the floods came. The Kremlin is claiming victories tonight, both military and political. In Chechnya, Russian troops tightened their grip around the capital and reportedly took control of Grozny's airport. Also, Russian voters gave a boost to Prime Minister Vladimir Putin and his tough handling of the war. A centrist party backed by Putin made strong gains in parliamentary elections at the expense of old-line communists and their allies. A rare glimpse tonight into the life of Ronald Reagan, now 88 years old. In a recent interview with C-SPAN, Nancy Reagan spoke poignantly and candidly about the former president's losing battle with Alzheimer's.
That is probably the worst disease you can ever have.
Why?
Because you lose contact and you're not able to share. In our case, you're not able to share all those wonderful memories that we have. And we had a wonderful life.
Can you have a conversation that makes sense to you with the president?
Not now.
Mrs. Reagan acknowledged that Alzheimer's can be tougher on the caregiver than on the patient, but she added, he would do the same thing for me. I know that. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, why a lot of internet shoppers this holiday season are now saying they prefer the stores.
The look? A cascade of gemstones set in golden hoops. Just $1.99 and the matching diamond earrings are free. The holiday jewelry sale at JCPenney.
While some folks couldn't sleep, you were peacefully sleeping thanks to Simply Sleep from the makers of Tylenol PM. It's non-habit forming and eases you into a restful night's sleep. Simply Sleep.
Let's face it, occasional loss of bladder control is no picnic. But now you can be dry and get on with your life with Poise pads. You see, Poise pads have a special absorbent material inside called Dry Touch that holds more than 10 times its weight in fluid, locks it into a gel, and turns it into a dry fluff. So you stay drier. Poise pads. Drier. Need I say more?
You are in the fight of your life. Just you against your smoking addiction, one-on-one. Trouble is, it's not a fair fight, and few people win it. But you can give yourself a fighting chance to win with Zyban. Zyban doesn't work for everyone. Zyban is part of a comprehensive program from your doctor to help you stop smoking. It's different from nicotine replacements. Zyban is the only prescription medicine that's nicotine-free, so you don't have to stop smoking all at once. As Zyban reduces your cravings, you feel like smoking less and less until you're ready to stop completely because you're ready to win. You should know there is a risk of seizure associated with Zyban. To reduce the risk, don't take Zyban if you have or have had a seizure or eating disorder, or if you take Wellbutrin. Don't take Zyban if you use an MAO inhibitor. Side effects may include dry mouth and difficulty sleeping. Ask your doctor if Zyban is right for you because it can help you quit smoking by making it a fight you can win. Zyban, you don't have to quit all at once.
For internet retailers, the holiday shopping season is all but over. And in a survey out today, 29% of e-tailers said sales were better than expected. 16% said they were lower. More than half said sales were right on target. But as for e-service, Anthony Mason reports a lot of customers are saying, egad.
Now they want a password.
Eileen Haas-Lindy is a veteran internet shopper. The Chicago area mother has bought her daughter's bunk beds online, the family car online.
I just bought my husband a snowblower. I bought a snowblower.
But she calls her trip to an internet toy store this Christmas
a nightmare.
It took 4 days, she says, to get into the Toys R Us website, 2 hours to place an order, then she couldn't get confirmation.
So I'm thinking, okay, what happened? Did this order evaporate? Was it shipped? Am I going to get a bill? No one knows.
Amazon.com has tons of toys. The .com companies have spent a fortune on ads this Christmas. It's worked. Toys R Us has more than tripled its online traffic, but CEO Mike Goldstein has admitted they've been overwhelmed.
We've had lots of problems in terms of handling the customer flow. Our systems weren't developed enough to handle the number of people who want to be on the site.
Toys R Us is not alone.
A survey by Anderson Consulting this Christmas found that 1 out of every 4 attempts to buy online failed to go through. The websites were either blocked, stalled, or even crashed.
Red Envelope Gifts Online, this is Jeanette speaking. How may I help you?
In San Diego, RedEnvelope.com has a small army of service reps just to keep its customers happy.
These are virtual storefronts, but your customers aren't virtual customers. They're real people.
Internet analyst Sarah Zielstra says many have been turned off by online shopping.
While a lot of people have said, well, online shopping, this is the best thing that ever could have happened, an equal number, if not more, are saying, I'd much rather go to the store.
This is the one I like the best.
Toys R Us did email Eileen Haas-Lindy, telling her to call if her gifts hadn't arrived by Christmas Eve.
And I thought, what are they going to do on December 24th? Is Santa going to come with a helicopter and drop it down my chimney? It's a little late.
Too late for Toys R Us. Eileen gave up waiting for the delivery truck and went to the store.
Sometimes internet shopping is not the best thing.
Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
On the CBS Market Watch, it was a mixed day on Wall Street, a triple-digit loss for the Dow Industrials, but the Nasdaq closed at its 55th record high this year. An Energy Department survey out today finds the price of gasoline is 33 cents higher than it was last Christmas. It's selling now for a nationwide average of $1.27 a gallon. The Clinton administration will announce sweeping new rules tomorrow to cut automobile emissions and sulfur levels in gasoline. The Environmental Protection Agency proposals are aimed at reducing smog pollution by millions of tons. Space Shuttle Discovery finally got off the launch pad last night on a mission to fix the Hubble Space Telescope. More than 2 months behind schedule and after a record 9 delays. The astronauts today were checking out the gear that they'll need for a series of spacewalks to make the Hubble repairs in the next week. Coming up next, countdown to 2000. Leslie Stahl on a century of triumphs for women. Where does it go from here?
For the latest medical news and information, visit our health website, cbshealthwatch.com.
"'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
This holiday, over 7 million pets will be homeless. But when you buy a limited edition PetSmart ornament for $4.99, you can help. All proceeds go to PetSmart charities to benefit local homeless animals. Make a pet's holiday wish come true at PetSmart.
All right, kid. Here we go. 10-9. What do you got? What do you got? What? Yeah. All right, come on, come on.
What would you do if someone you loved had a heart attack? Did you know it's now been proven that the same Bear aspirin you have in your bag for muscle aches may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack?
Downtown. Lucky shot.
Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
Next time I'll go easier on you.
Bear. Powerful pain relief and so much more.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
This is how hundreds of thousands of smokers have quit. It's the gradual step-down method, and you get it only from Nicoderm CQ. Store brand patches have only one step. You can't step down your dose. Nicoderm CQ has 3. You step down gradually, and gradual is the method doctors prefer. Quitting's important. Choose carefully. Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
With just 11 days to go until the year 2000, we're looking at the great changes of the 20th century and the changes in store for the 21st. One revolution that's still rolling is the women's movement. It began with a battle for the right to vote. 60 Minutes correspondent Leslie Stahl looks at how far it's come on our countdown to 2000.
Sold-out stadiums with fans screaming for a bunch of female soccer players. What a way to end a century that began when women couldn't even vote.
I can't tell you how many women from the ages of 40 to 75 that have hugged me and said, God bless you for putting women on the map. And I, in turn, look to them and I say, thank you for all the battles you had to do before I even came along.
The mother of all battles ended in 1920 when men finally agreed to let the other half vote. Ever since, for the rest of the century, women have been breaking down barriers and breaking records.
A 19-year-old girl from America appeared to brave the treacherous crossing, and her name was Gertrude Ederle.
Thousands cheered the first woman to swim the English Channel.
Hey, hey, what do you say?
But when marchers demanded rights for women,
What do you want? Do you want it?
many on the sidelines stopped cheering.
Females are supposed to stay home, have kids, and keep the house clean.
As a leader of the women's movement of the 1970s, Gloria Steinem was on the front lines. Where I stand, I say, wow, we've just gone through some incredible revolution. It may be the biggest revolution of the 20th century.
I agree. If we get discouraged about where we are now, which of course we do, then we need only to look backward and see how far we've come, and that in itself is energizing and inspiring.
Here's how far Congress,
Jeanette Rankin, famed suffragette and first woman to be elected to Congress.
outer space,
Yeah, please go ahead, Sally.
the State Department,
I'm Madeline Corbell Albright.
the Supreme Court. It's no longer a man's world.
So help me God.
But in corporate America, the top jobs still go to men almost always.
Immigrant groups, outsiders, have had to start their own businesses in order to break through economically. And I'm sure that's why women are now starting their own businesses at 3 times the rate of men.
But it's the same in politics. At the end of the 20th century, the top job is still out of reach.
I think what we've done is pave the way for the person who will be the first woman president.
But will that happen anytime soon? Maybe not. According to a new CBS News poll, less than half, only 48% think the country's ready for a woman president. But in the most surprising finding of the poll, 2/3 of both men and women now say they have a favorable opinion of the women's movement.
Now we have identity, but we still don't have equality.
We still don't have equality?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. I mean, for instance, we've convinced most of the country that women can do what men can do, and this is a big victory. But we haven't even begun to convince them that men can do what women can do. Until men are raising babies and little kids and cooking and doing the human maintenance work as much as women are, many things will be wrong. Women won't be equal. Men won't be nurturing.
This image of Brandy Chastain captured the exuberance of a great moment.
I really want to make sure that people understand that that was a celebration.
A celebration of a century of victories and a symbol of a new era when power is no longer just a guy thing. In New York, I'm Leslie Stahl on the countdown to 2000.
And that's the CBS Evening News for this Monday. For Dan Rather, I'm John Roberts, CBS News in New York. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
The Holy Land's flooded with pilgrims, but believe it or not, some may have